What's up, guys? Panther here, and we are bringing you our TTM Summer Showdown All-Stars Surge format tournament draft analysis. And that was a mouthful there, guys. So if you do not know what Summer Showdown is, it is a large tournament ran by the Token Minorities every summer. I believe they do one in the winter as well. But yeah, Summer Showdown is huge. They have like a regular bracket that a lot of my buddies have participated in, and then they have the All-Star bracket here, which is invite only from some of the larger leagues around. We have several large leagues represented here. We have like the P4G, we have the GBA, of course we have the APA here. There's too many leagues to name. I think like only one person from each league was requested to fill, so there's so many leagues that are in it. Some I've heard of, some I have not. That's not any shade or anything. There's some amazing battlers here that I've heard of, never gotten the opportunity to play or talk to before, so I'm really excited to see how we match up against them. But yeah, this is a very unique format too. I'm not sure who came up with it, if it was Jolt, if it was one of the other guys, but it's very interesting here, and it was very exciting. So yeah, the APA was invited. We got one slot, and we really thought about asking, obviously the coach who gave us the best shot at winning, but Miticus and Dan felt like I should definitely go ahead and do it, since I'm one of the creators of it, of the APA. So yeah, we're here, and we're really hoping to do well and represent the league. So yeah, we going into this, honestly, I've kind of stayed away from the tournament scene before. It's such a large format, and typically in the regular bracket they do the bracket round on just a Saturday all day during the day, and you know, I have small kids, so I've not been able to do an actual large tournament like this before from TTM. So was pretty happy here to get the opportunity to rep APA. So typically you draft 8 moms in a tournament. They actually allocated you some points this time, and with the Surge format, you could only draft mons for round 1 that were worth 10 points or less. So now next round, if we advance, we will be able to draft mons, I think 13 points or less, and of course we're allocated a few more points also to upgrade our team. So I think it's very cool. It's kind of like a conquer format, so to speak. Like the further you advance, the better your team's going to get, because you're going to be able to pick up stronger and stronger mons to replace some of these and keep the other solid mons. So when I heard that, I wanted to try to grab some mons that function well in like normal format, because if I was given the opportunity to do well in the early stages and advance, I wanted to have the best opportunity possible to advance us as far as possible in the tournament. So the mon I really had my eyes on was Alolan Ninetales. It was worth 10 points, but I wanted to pair it with Lanoon. Actually, I was going to grab those two mons, picks 1 and 2, but I ended up picking 14th, and Alolan Ninetales ended up going like 10th or something like that. So we were not able to snag that. So my next plan was I wanted to build out my Dragon Fairy Steel Core, because I really felt like that was a core that could really function well together. So I knew I was going to have a wheel pick, and I wanted to grab 2 mons that I thought went very well together in Empoleon and Flygon. So I'm going to talk about my picks kind of in pairs, or at least these first 2 in pairs, because I really wanted to build my team around these 2. There were a couple of the fairies I knew I could grab later, like a Romatisse, Clefairy. Definitely had my eyes on Rabombi, like Slurpuff was out there and stuff. So I want to go and snag up my Steel type, because like I said, I've never really done a tournament before, but I know how valuable Steel type is in typical Draft League format. And of course, Ground Spam is so nice to have. Really pairs well, in my opinion, Flygon here with Empoleon, just for the simple fact that Empoleon resists Fairy and Ice and Dragon, and then of course Flygon's going to be immune to those electric type moves and those ground type moves that are going to be pesky for Empoleon to have to deal with. Empoleon's going to be reliable, be able to reliably set my rocks for me, of course. It's going to be able to roar mons out. Empoleon's a very solid mon. It doesn't do a lot of different things, but it does its job very well, which is setting hazards, removing hazards potentially, phasing mons, knocking items off, and you know, just being able to absorb some hits and throw off some scalds. You can run it offensive. You can run some type of like agility, defiance set potentially, because it does get some neat coverage moves. But yeah, we'll see if that's going to actually be a thing. So like I said, round 2, you already know I took the Flygon. This is going to actually be my Z-move user. And you know, Flygon I feel like is a mon we could definitely upgrade later if we could snag like Zygarde 50% or something like that, if we advance that far. Or even Zydog. But yeah, Flygon here, I really feel like can be a monster in this with Z moves. It can Dragon Dance, it can pivot with U-turn, it can be special, it can be physical, it can just do so many different things well. So yeah, it gets coverage, it gets moves like Fire Blast, but I think with Z moves it can be very, very, very threatening. And then of course it gives me some options as well if I want to run Defog on it, just to ensure we're not getting hazard stacked or anything like that. So in the 3rd round, I wanted to go ahead and dip and grab my Fairy. I figured Ribombee would give me another very, very threatening sweeper. It gives me another pivot with U-turn, and it also gives me Sticky Web. So I was really torn here between Ribombee and Slurpuff, but I've wanted to try Ribombee for so long. And the thing is it gave me a time 4 fighting resist for Empoleon also, so I really wanted to go ahead and snag it. And it also resisted ground type moves, so I figured it paired a little bit better with Empoleon than a mon like Slurpuff did, which is what I almost went. But we have Ribombee, and I'm not going to regret the decision. It gives me a 3rd Defogger already, and Ribombee does what it does. It Quiver Dance, it sets webs, and it's just an overall hard mon to switch into with this dual stab also. So pretty cool mon here. I haven't ever used it, now I wanted to take the opportunity to try it. So now that I had these guys, I wanted to really try to build out the rest of my team well. So I wanted to again try to support Empoleon, and I wanted to pick up a good electric resist. I wanted to pick up another good fighting resist, and I wanted to pick up another good mon in general. Vileplume was 4 points, so I went ahead and dipped down and grabbed Vileplume because this mon, I really think this mon is just a good mon overall. Strength Sap is such a good move. I can just really spam that and just cripple attackers that are potentially switching in. Of course, 100% accurate Toxics, I love. It can sleep powder things. If I want to go offensive, I can. If I wanted to like run some tech with like some Sun with this thing, I could also. So I felt like for 4 points, Vileplume was a really good value mon, and it's one potentially I could keep on my roster as well. So yeah, there's that. I thought it was a pretty cool mon and a pretty good value pick, so I went ahead and picked it up. Alright, so next we have Rhydon here. I wanted to get a very good rock type Pokemon for the simple fact that my water type does not resist fire. So I wanted to have Rhydon here so mons just couldn't spam fire moves against me. I wasn't going to go and switch in Flygon on that. So this was really just to kind of support Empoleon, of course. I don't think an Earthquake from anything is going to be able to knock out a Violite Rhydon from full. So this mon's really, really bulky. And it's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Gives me another Stealth Rock setter since my Flygon is not able to set rocks. So if I do want to sit Empoleon now or run a different set on it, I very well can, having Rhydon here. This thing can be offensive also with some type of like Rock Polish set potentially, and then its dual stab going to be very hard to switch into. Now of course it makes it so so mons can, like electric type mons that are just going to be spamming Volt Switch, now they have to choose if they want to run HP Ice or if they want to run like HP Water or Grass to hit Rhydon here with. So that's another one of the reasons why I wanted to go with Rhydon. Alright, so next up we have Type Null, and this is a mon that I've seen our boy Jock use very, very well. This thing is extremely bulky with an Eviolite, and it gets a lot of really cool coverage moves. So obviously it can pivot. It does not get the parting shot that its daddy gets, but it does get U-turn. And I've seen this thing really just wreak havoc for teams with the SD, like SD Rest Talk set. That it's just very, very hard to deal with. It has very good stats across the board. It gets Flame Charge to boost speed. It's a very good mod. I've seen it 6-0 someone before in Draft League format, and I think this mod could very well be slept on. This is 95 bulk across the board with a Violite, so we'll be able to boost this thing. I'm really excited to use it. I really think it's a huge threat, and it pairs so well with my team having Vileplume and Rabombi as such good fighting resist also to help check things. It gives me a ghost immunity, so ghost types just cannot spam Shadow Ball against me, and it just gives me an all-around really, really bulky mod. Alright, so with webs, I of course had to get, let me go ahead and go down right here. I of course had to get a Defiant user. I was going to get Braviary, but I was sniped with Braviary. So I went with the next best thing. Needed a fighting type. I was going to get Scrafty for my fighting type. I was going to get Scrafty and Braviary, but Primeape is just as good. Getting access to those elemental punches, does not get access to knockoff, but gives me a very good pivot U-turn, a very good Scarf user. Scarf Defiant is no joke, so if you want to get rid of those sticky webs and click defog, you better be ready for my boy Primeape to come in here and click a +2 close combat against you if I'm able to predict that right. So I'm very excited about this mod here. It's pretty straightforward. Gets some cool tech moves like Encore and Endeavor. Gets Gunk Shot for fairy coverage, elemental punches. So that's going to be very nice. And yeah, very, very, very excited about this mod also. And then finally here, for our last pick in this draft, we have Rapidash. So again, wanted another fire immunity. I wanted a fire type in general though, but of course something with Flash Fire is what I was really aiming for. I was going to grab Typhlosion because I figured Eruption would be very cool, but I was actually sniped of that right before I picked. And Rapidash was the next best thing available. Let me just show you something real quick. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say right there. I mean, this shiny right here, that is just amazingness. What else do you have to say? Nothing. Pretty good stats across the board for what it is. It's a low round late pick. Good speed tier. Gives me something above 100 and in between Rabombi. So in between Flygon and Rabombi. Access to Recovery and Morning Sun, and get some cool coverage moves. High Horsepower, Wild Charge. Get some moves like Mega Horn and P-Jab. So again, Rapidash can be very, very cool. But guys, these are my 8 mons here for the TTM Summer Showdown Surge format. I want to thank the guys, especially Jolt at Token Minorities, again for inviting the APA to the tournament. Very happy to be able to accept the APA spot to be able to take part in this, and really looking forward to bringing you guys some content here for TTM. Our battle is going to go up on September 9th, which is this Sunday. I'm going to set the battle for 6 o'clock after our APA Wi-Fi game going up, probably midday sometime. So guys, be sure to check that out later. But again guys, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out the TTM content coming very soon.